You don't fail because you don't want change. You fail because a deeper part of you is afraid of it. Most people believe they want success, growth, and transformation. But psychologically, what they want even more is certainty. Your current life may frustrate you. It may disappoint you, but it is predictable. Your brain knows how to survive here. Change threatens that survival map. That's why you procrastinate on things that matter. That's why motivation fades after the first burst of excitement. That's why you sabotage progress right before a breakthrough. And here's the unsettling part. This isn't a personal flaw. It's human nature. You are not broken. You are biologically consistent. To understand why success feels impossible, we need to understand what your brain is actually optimizing for. Key 1. Your brain is not designed for happiness or success. Your brain evolved for one primary purpose: survival. Not meaning, not fulfillment, not long-term success, survival. Deep inside your brain is the limbic system, an ancient network that scans for danger. It doesn't ask, will this make my life better? It asks, will this keep me alive? Change introduces uncertainty. Uncertainty feels like danger, so the brain resists. This is why staying stuck often feels safer than moving forward. Key 2. The status quo bias. Psychologists call this the status quo bias. Your mind prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility. A job you hate, a habit you regret, a life that feels small. As long as it's known, the brain can predict it, and prediction equals safety. This is why people stay in situations that quietly drain them, not because they enjoy them, but because the unknown feels worse. Key 3. Dopamine lies to you. Dopamine is not the chemical of happiness. It's the chemical of anticipation. It spikes when you imagine success, when you plan, when you start. But dopamine drops during repetition, effort, and delayed reward. That's why motivation disappears once the work becomes boring. Your brain evolved in environments where rewards were immediate: food, shelter, safety. Modern goals are delayed. Your nervous system isn't built for long timelines, so it searches for faster rewards. Scrolling, snacking, distraction. Not because you lack willpower, but because your biology is outdated. Key 4. Identity-based resistance. The brain protects identity more fiercely than comfort. If you've spent years seeing yourself as not disciplined, or not lucky, or not successful, success would force an identity update. And identity updates are metabolically expensive. They require the brain to rewrite its internal story. So instead, the mind creates rationalizations. I'll start later. This isn't the right time. I'm just not built for this. These thoughts feel logical. Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's energy. Change requires new neural pathways, new behaviors, new decisions. That costs energy. So the brain defaults to habits, even harmful ones, because they're efficient. In evolutionary terms, efficiency meant survival. In modern life, it often means stagnation. The universe itself resists change. Physics calls it entropy, the natural tendency toward disorder and stability. Your mind follows the same laws. Stability is: pause for a moment. Think about the goals you've abandoned, not the ones you never cared about. the ones that mattered, the versions of yourself you almost became. Ask yourself this: did you quit because you were incapable, or because your nervous system was overwhelmed? Did you lack ambition, or were you fighting instincts millions of years old? Most people spend their lives blaming themselves for biological programming they never consented to. They call it laziness, they call it weakness. But what if it was fear wearing logic's clothing? What if the resistance you feel isn't a signal to stop, but a sign you're approaching something real? Change feels like loss before it feels like gain. Loss of identity, loss of certainty, loss of the familiar self. No one tells you that part, so you assume something is wrong with you. Nothing is. Here's the quiet truth most people never hear. Success doesn't come from fighting your brain, it comes from understanding it. You don't overcome resistance by force. You outgrow it by awareness. When you realize that discomfort is not danger, that uncertainty is not death, that effort is not punishment, something shifts. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop expecting change to feel easy. You stop interpreting fear as failure, and you begin to see resistance as the shadow cast by growth. The reason change feels impossibly, not because you're weak. It's because you're standing at the edge of becoming someone your old brain doesn't recognize yet. And the moment you understand that, the impossible becomes inevitable.